Lots of little bits and pieces still remain here. We're going to focus in on some of the more interesting rumors and theories that people have. Hello, 34% of you that have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can climb up the 100K ladder here. Well, I want to talk about some of the thoughts that people are kind of having here as we kind of go forward here with Cyberstorm Access. Now, you know, the commercial just got revealed, so whatever is kind of looming in the back of the room here is either going to be a common, which we've seen where the triple tactics tasking didn't show up in, you know, any commercial anywhere, but, you know, it's a common anyway, so what is it really? It's common or rare, it's one of the two. But, you know, when they make these commercials and things to advertise these particular products in the OCG, the commons, they can put whatever powerhouse card that they want in them, and we've seen that they'll jack the rarity up in the TCG all the way up into a secret rare slot. So what are some other things we're really expecting here? Now, to be fair, we're expecting another Magistus monster out of this set, which is actually kind of an interesting working theory here, because everything else that has kind of been working around here, the last real support card we got was what, Zoroa, and it was the level 8 Synchro, and that was that Power of the Elements, if I recall? So this archetype is kind of due for another round of, like, power-ups. And if you're sitting here like, oh boy, you know, like, oh, just when I wanted Ramiya more Magistus support, look. All right, take what you get with a grain of salt. Be happy with it, all right? I would love to see Magistus get the chance to get, you know, some of the Dorme Court support that we just recently got. Actually, the fact that we got that Dorme Court support is kind of why people are kind of looking around. They're like, Odotics. So that's actually kind of interesting, too. We did see the Dorme Court support get announced during the live stream, but where's the Odotic support, you know? That deck is, I swear it's literally like 1 to 2 cards off of actually getting the chance to have some sort of huge play. Like, we're really close at this point in time. So I actually hope that, you know, especially since we're kind of revisiting some of the particulars from that era that, you know, since we touched on, you know, Dorme Court, that hopefully Odotic can get some sort of love here. The deck is so much in need of it. Please, Konami, you're taking notes of this at this point. So that's something else, is the working theory that we've somehow wound up all the way back here for Magistus and for Odotic support, since I guess, you know, the set is aiming to power up some of those old / archetypes. Now, one other interesting thing that a few people are kind of pointing at here, we're kind of due for some sort of structure deck upgrades. Now, when you typically look at some of these structure decks, things kind of get further down the pipeline. Something like Hyperion, for example, here, where we need some sort of support for agents. You know, ever since we took Halki Fibrax outside and blew it up, and I mean literally, poor guy didn't even stand a chance on that ban list. Agents they've really gone down the crapper as of late. So I've heard more and more people go, please give us some agent support. I would absolutely love to see that. I don't know what you can give agents. Maybe do you really need to give them? Are agents in such a bad position that they need a link 1 to function? I don't know. Like, that's a very good question. Like, what do you give agents in replacement of Halki Fibrax to really give them the chance to take back off? And I mean, that's not to say that they don't already have access to some of the more powerful engines like Gigantic Sprite, but, you know, it's really going to come down to, at what point can I use these effects? You know, how generic of a support line can we really give to agents to have this, you know, shine? Now, of course, this set is supposed to be the big wrap-up set, or some more lore for Fallen of Albers. Now, we don't technically have a Synchro Fallen of Albers dragon just yet. I actually kind of feel like, since Blazing Cartesia is a tuner monster, we're kind of opening up the door here for this. So as January unfolds here, literally, I just want to say that if you're not expecting a Synchro Dragon at this point, probably a level 8 actually, I think you're doing it wrong at this point, because it only makes sense at this point that we would get a monster to be able to actually merge with Fallen of Albers. Now, whether or not it will be specifically named for Blazing Cartesia, or, Ecclesia, or, a level 4, some sort of tie-in to the lore, that is the big possibility here. All right, actually, I think it's almost pretty much on the walls at this point in time that Albaz is going to... Synchroing is the one lore that we need, the thing that bypasses fusion summoning, the mighty Synchro Shogun. But like I said, we already know that Fallen of Albaz is going to get something pretty interesting out here, especially as, we head on into the near wrap-up for the climax story. So what does that really leave in the set? I don't know. That's kind of where I'm sitting right now with this is, Into the Nexus, or Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Nexus just got announced the other day, and people are they're like, Robbie, Believe in Nexus or whatnot is the theme song for 5Ds. It's a 5D set. You're literally a clown if you believe anything different. So for this to be the wrap-up set as we head on into that set, and that becomes the working theory that we're going to go back into the next round of power-up stuff here, that is kind of interesting. So I guess the other thing is, since this was a Cybers design set, and do we have would they really hold back some sort of good generic Cybers card? Because we did have the duel during the live stream where we had, Boral Chad Endo Dragon getting sacked by Singularity 9000 sack machine deck. I think it would be really cool if we did see some other support, at least for generic good stuff for Cybers. Like, that just kind of leaves a little bit to be desired, in my personal opinion, at least for the Cybers players out here, that they really do need just a little bit more to get off of the ground. But I don't know, I'm also still waiting for, some other magical, Fire Force card. The fact they only gave them one card in this set really burned me, but there is a possibility that they could be holding one of those cards for a card of the day. Fingers crossed here that, Rescue Ace could be getting one of the mystical card of the days. Like, the card was so good that they held it. You can't tell me that you've looked at the Rescue Ace deck, Konami, and you went, yeah, this is good enough. This is perfect. This is the right amount of support. This will please everybody. You can't tell me that you did that, because I don't think you clearly did, all right? There's truly a lot of room there for improvement, and you're kind of lacking in this set. But I also, it's a little bit of a wrap-up to this video. The Mana Dome archetype, I think, was the best thing so far out of Cyberstorm Access. The generic power-ups are very, very nice. They're very, very good. I honestly think the Scareclaw Vice's Starfrost fusion was probably the craziest card in the set, and that's really saying something for the power scaling of this set. After they wound down Tyr and they wound down, Kishtera, it is kind of nice to see that there is a little bit of an openness there to kind of mess around with these things. And I mean, it's as it should be. We go from the massive bullshit power creep all the way up here in, upstanding, I can't even believe this crapville, back down to, hey, we got a decent format here where Rogue can keep up. That's what needs to be done here. And I think for this to be a passive cruise control set through the metagame, I think that's very good. All right, I just wonder where the checks and balances went from before Power of the Elements, because the format was so good to, ow, what the hell just hit me? All right, like that's literally what that format felt like. So if you're looking at Cyberstorm Access and you're expecting this to be, one of the crazier sets of the year, no, I think that this is going to be something a little bit more passive. But we don't fully know everything yet, and Konami is goddamn notorious for dropping in some sort of banger somewhere along the way. And I really truly hope that whatever banger is coming, it doesn't disrupt the format in such a crazy way that we've seen in the past. So What are you still expecting out of Cyberstorm Access? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.